Brothers and sisters, generals, family, current subscriber, new subscriber, anybody that view, I salute you and that place that gold over our families. May all of our families prosper and everything we touch turn to gold. And you alive and breathing, it's an opportunity. Be thankful that we woke up, because there are those that went to sleep for the last time. So that's why we got to make every day count the best way we can, And hey, if you want to waste time, hey, that's on you, Because what goes around comes around. And that's more of a saying. That's a way of life. And that's whether you centering around good energy or bad energy, it's going to come back around one way or another. So, and that's why we practice that's why we have meditation and deep to the bottom of the soul prayer, emphasis on that, because we have to take meditation and prayer and get into the pit of that soul. We got to take it to a whole nother level. We got to be relentless. We in that time now. There's no reason for a brother or a sister, young or older, not to know things and not to have some kind of knowledge. You just have to make sure we're seeking the right knowledge, especially when it comes to building oneself and keeping oneself sane and maintained, and making sure our brain is not strained. I like rhyming sometimes, but we have to make the effort to do things. Forgive me for fumbling. And good morning and good afternoon and good evening, whatever time zone you're in. And welcome, my generals, to another edition of EBX discussion. And we got to do things to make us enthusiastic, as I spoke on the podcast. Righteous enthusiasm sparks a great life, creativity, and change. When we put forth the effort and we use that power that all melanated brothers and sisters have deep within, which leads me to still waters run deep. And we're going to speak on the 7 senses that you always hear me talk about: mind, body, and soul, see, hear, and feel. And what's the center of that? I talk about on every other podcast because it's important. The psyche, brothers and sisters, that's the center of as I heard from a great brother. This not mine now. This another brother that said this. That universe. I just love the way that sound, man. And so we can learn from each other, brother or sister. We don't copy each other. We be inspired from one another. And we don't take what another brother or sister or family member, any advice we get or teachings we get, we incorporate it. We don't copy it. I had to kind of check myself on this, because a lot of times we don't mean to. It's just that we're inspired by another brother or sister, but we have to find our own way. We have to come up with our own ways to be an impact in this world. But it's lovely when we are inspired by one another, because as I said a long time ago, a brother I learned from, a couple brothers, and I've listed some people like in the beginning stages of my walk. I even list the names. These are the names of the brothers, and they're all content creators now that sparked my walk, that got me started. And the first one on the list is, let me see, I would have to say Professor Griff. He was the first one. I used to listen to his lectures and I used to write papers. I still have to find them, but I got pages written when I used to listen to Professor Griff's lectures, and I wrote down papers. So salute to Professor Griff. And the next one on the list is Dr. Umar. This is I don't know, maybe 10 years ago, maybe even longer than that. This before all the other things came along, with Dr. Umar and whatever. And I'm just going off what I learned from him, what I learned from a great brother. We take the good and we leave the bad. Now, it's not mine again. That's another brother, which I'm going to mention here in a minute. And Dr. Umar did, I got some inspiration from him. And he's another one of the brothers that helped me on this walk. And some sisters, too. I'm just naming some brothers right now. So those were 2. And the third one was Young Pharaoh. I used to listen to Young Pharaoh I'm talking 10 years, 15 years back, when he was really doing this thing online. And I know he has some, like I said, him and Dr. Umar probably had some, some challenges along the way, but I'm pulling the good from those brothers. That's what we got to learn to do. If somebody doing wrong or doing something they ain't got no business, that great divine will take care of them, unless it starts to affect the black people, brother or sister. But hey, no one's perfect, but It all depends on what's in that mindset, what's in the pit of that soul. So I salute Professor Griff, Dr. Umar, and young Pharaoh. Was that they played a part in my growth, and it's just wonderful. And I'll name a couple sisters that I can remember off the top of my head. And the next brother is Brother Kwaku, another brother that was very vital on one's walk. And when I came across Kwaku, I came across another brother named Lance Skirv. He's another brother that helped. It's not just me. He helped a lot. He's helped a lot of people. Real talk. He's one of those. He's really a catalyst for a lot of people that's succeeding in their minds, so to speak, out here. So salute to Lance Skirv and his platform, and Brother Kwaku. I still listen to those brothers today. I even listen to Dr. Umar every now and then because he has good information. He knows shit. No one's perfect. As long as he's not trying to hurt anyone, no one's perfect. But hey, he got good information, and he is an impact to the black community, to the black brothers and sisters. He give us vital information. So salute to those brothers, because those are the brothers that were in the beginning stages of one's walk. So we just got to acknowledge that, and they're definitely, and if you have listened to those brothers and know how they get down, you will know still waters run deep. Because when you steal, not steal like taking something, but when we are being still, that's when we see things. That's when we comprehend. That's when we learn. That's when we pay attention. And we have that beautiful word I love to say, clarity. Man, when you are saying that word, and when that word is in your vocabulary, that's a good thing, and just keep going. Don't ever get to a space and think we're done. No, we keep thriving, not surviving, thriving. We thrive in excellence, and keep on going, because the levels never run out. And never forget to have fun and enjoy what we do, whatever that is, not just speaking, whatever it is. It's always always got to look beyond the horizon so we can see things, and be still, because those who are water, we run deep, real talk. So it's beautiful when we can see deeper into things, especially ourselves. So salute to those brothers that inspired one. And I'll name some sisters that are pretty cool, that are content creators. One sister that she comments on my videos every now and then. I'm gonna try to say her name right. I don't want to get it wrong. Queen Mayat Rogers. Queen Mayat Rogers. Salute to that sister, because she comments on some of my videos and stuff. So salute to that sister, and she comes from Lance Skirv's platform. And salute to everyone on his platform, and the speakers, and those via chat room, those the loyal ones. Salute to them. And it's wonderful. I haven't been on the platform in a while, but I'm still spiritually connected. I never forget no one that helped a brother, and that's brother or sister. So salute to Queen Mayat Rogers. And I haven't watched her in a while, but I even like Positively Angela. I fumbled that word, but Positively Angela. She's cool. It's a sister I watch named Spiritual Baddie. She's very deep, very she's cool. She's good to listen to. And there's another sister on YouTube that's a great content creator. I think her name is Victoria something, and something ministries on there. She's very good. Her name is Victoria. She's right here. She's a sister right here on YouTube. And those three sisters I really appreciate. And there's other sisters I listen to too. I just can't think of all of them right off the bat. And these are all still watered sisters, brothers and sisters, what I just named. They all are still like water, and they all go to the depths of that soul. Again, no one's perfect, but it's when people do things, trust me, that great divine in nature, mama nature, will take care of them. We don't have to judge them or talk about them or talk down on them. We pull the good from them and let that divine do the rest. The same thing with me. If I do something, you don't think that great divine gonna take care of me? I'm on here speaking and trying to lift and raise people, and then doing toxic shit. Of course I'm gonna pay for it. So that's why we have moments like this. Not just speaking though. We have meditative moments when we do be still, so we can get to the depths of that ocean. And the depths of that ocean or water or lake is the pit of our soul. Because as I said before and I say again, that psyche is where all the battles begin. You know, that's where all the I'm stumbling. That's where all fumbling. That's where all the battles are fought, in that psyche. And I told my son this, Lord Lamont, on a father and son discussion. I bring this up every now and then because it needs to be told, you know, and different people listen to your platform and stuff. So, but hey, if you don't win that battle in your psyche, any spiritual battles, any battles we have, whether it's mental or spiritual or even physical, in our psyche, we won't stand a chance on the outside. But when you can conquer thoughts within, emotions and stuff like that within, some wonderful, wonderful things will come about. You know, a lot of aha moments. I say that a lot. It's just wonderful when you come into it. You know, like one is speaking now, when we just speak and let it flow. Some great divine things will come up out of our soul. What comes up comes out righteously. Still waters run deep. So don't ever take one who's still and quiet and silent for granted. I'm talking about a righteous brother or sister, not nobody toxic or nothing, but never underestimate one who is still, and that's anyone, you know. So this was something that was in my spirit, and I said I was going to speak on my favorite content creators, and not just because they're content creators, just them as a person, you know, that impact a brother's life, you know. And the brother Lance Scurb, I was just talking about, a lot of my beginning subscribers are from or not from, but came from his platform. Like I haven't been in chat rooms. I probably haven't been in the chat room in, let me see. Oh, it's been some years. Just been kind of stepping back, being still, you know, just observing, not sneaky in a toxic way, just observing, you know, just enjoying brothers and sisters and listening to brothers and sisters speak and learning and incorporating it. And learning new ways to elevate, because as I said yesterday on the podcast, we got 2 ears for a reason, folks. We need to listen sometimes. That's how we learn, especially from our mistakes and things we've done, all those good things, so we can have a great, bright future. That's what it's all about, you know, because the more positive and powerful we are, and positive is more than just a word. It's a means for creating a better life. People need to get that in their soul. And positive energy, it keeps our immune system healthy, and it keeps us looking young. You know, you'd be surprised what positive energy can do if you take it serious. You know, you can't be positive when it's convenient. Being positive in the so-called tough times is what build us. That's when you know positive energy really works. When you use it when it's challenging, that's when it matters. Then when the time comes when it's not challenging, it's easy. Seventh nature, as I always say. Hey, brothers and sisters, still waters run deep, and keep on sharpening our 7 senses. As I say it again, what is it? Mind, body, and soul, see, hear, and feel, in our psyche. Remember that. Those are our 7 vital senses in our body, and they are very, very important. And the see and hearing and the feeling, why is that important? Because it taps into our emotions. So, because sometimes this human body, as I say, never listen to the human flesh. It's not shit. The human flesh is like the human flesh. I think I talked about this before. The human flesh is like an individual that's living with you and don't have a job and ain't trying to do nothing, just laying around and just eating up all the food and using up all the power and the water and ain't giving nothing back. That's what the human flesh is. The human flesh is always there for pleasure and things that make us feel good. And you know, the human flesh is going to agree on everything. That's why we have to have control. Because if it was up to our human flesh, we would be in a world of trouble. So that's why we focus on our 7 senses: mind, body, and soul, see, hear, and feel, to keep control of one's human flesh. And why do we do all these things? So we can have a great life and pass it on to our generals, family, and children. Righteous ripple effect. And we sending out that ripple effect so it can what? Come back 10 times, tenfold. Real talk. And many of us have experienced this. So salute to those I mentioned that I learned from that helped spark the brother. And, and I'm going to keep going. And in their honor, I will not fuck up on this walk, not on purpose, not intentionally, I will stand firm as a general, because I did a lot of searching and soul searching and knowledge and all that stuff to build oneself. But guess what? I had help along the way via brother, sister, or family. Haven't done all this by myself, but it's nice when we can have some self-reliance, and able to come into one's own without having to, lean on someone all the time and glom on to people. It's good when we can stand on our own and have that power, but still connect with family, brothers and sisters, generals, young or old, because that's very important too. Or young or older, not old. Yeah, because that's important too. Real talk. And it just keeps us whole, keeps our circle strong and firm. That righteous shield must stay up. That righteous fortress, because man, we always got to cultivate those good, righteous, divine ideas that just bounce around in our body and convey it out to the world in the most powerful, righteous way we can. Because man, when you develop when you start investing in the good qualities in oneself, it's like righteously overwhelming. You start, when you go into yourself, take time, get over the little petty shit and really dig in and get to that great part of ourselves. It's so wonderful. And it makes you want to, it makes you hungry for humanity. It's beautiful. It's the most wonderful thing in the world. Being in control of one's psyche is better than sex. It's better than money. I'm telling you, the gift of life is endless, as I said on the podcast yesterday. And, as we all know, as I just said, still waters run deep. So never underestimate a brother or sister that's still and quiet. Those are usually the most intelligent and usually the most deep and have the most fire. And I'm not talking about sneaky individuals that's manipulating. I'm talking about that. I'm talking about the righteous brothers and sisters out here that know how to be still in the most challenging times. Because that's when you definitely are a true man or a true woman or a true brother or a true sister, when you can stand still in the midst of a so-called storm. So my leaders and teachers with a student spirit, I got to do a little summary, just to kind of get it in our subconscious. So let's go with this summary, my generals. Let's go. The physical health benefits of silence and solitude, which is the same thing as being still. Relaxation is a primary mechanism for healing. When we are under stress, our body's natural repair mechanism are disabled. When you can cultivate silence and stillness, clarity, there's that word, clarity develops in our mind and has a settling effect. That's real talk. And settling, it means it gets embedded in our soul when we practice it too. That's why I always say set that tone every morning. That's the best time, because that's when we've had our rest. We, make sure we use the bathroom, got everything out the way, get to our quiet space. And that morning, brothers and sisters, mornings are very vital to our lives every day. Some people don't pay attention to it. They just wake up, do their routine. They don't pray. They don't meditate. They don't do nothing and just go through their day. No, this is how you gain clarity over your day. This is how you gain control over your life, actually, but over your day-to-day, task and day-to-day things we do on, every day. When we set that tone every day, we're ready for whatever we come into. I've experienced this time and time again. I've made it a practice. Again, we don't always have to have an event to go to or work. We can do it every day just because. Just get in meditation. We don't have to ask for nothing. Only thing we ask for is strength. And just sit there. If we had to close our eyes, be quiet. We can do it Indian style on the floor or wherever we do it. Just be quiet and don't say nothing for a good 10, 15 minutes. And it teaches us attention span. That's another thing being still does. Because in this day and age, in this microwave age, it makes some of us we have short attention span. So, and that ties into patience, silence, stillness, what we talking about. So that's another reason why we cultivate meditation every morning, and preferably early, because it's early now. Actually, I've been up since like 7, but it's something about the mornings. They're quiet, peaceful, and again, that's when we're rejuvenated, we're rested, and our mind is clear. And a lot of times thoughts can bombard us in the morning, because a lot of times when I'm laying down, thoughts are just bombarding me. A lot of them will be good thoughts and divine thoughts and ideas, but we have to have that reality. You have negative thoughts too. That's why we gotta put that positive thoughts in there. We override those negative thoughts and we put those positive thoughts in there. Powerful thoughts. We gotta think powerful. We gotta think big. Be in alignment with that great divine, because the great divine and Mother Nature are the most very powerful forces in this whole wide universe. I don't give a damn who think they got power, who think they running the world. They ain't running shit but they mouth, because that great divine, Mother Nature, runs and rules it all, can shut all this shit down. Real talk. Blow us all off the earth and start all over. We got to remember that. I always like to use this example. If you want to really see and really feel and kind of get the gist of how powerful that great divine and Mother Nature is, look at it through the divine's eyes and see what it sees. It sees ants. That's what we look like to that powerful force. I say this every now and then, because sometimes you got to remind individuals how very powerful. It's more than just saying God and all this. No, this thing is powerful. Real talk. We like little ants. Real talk. So that's how you got to think of that's how I look at it, because I give that upper power, great divine Mother Nature, the utmost respect. The things it's pulled me through and things it's pulled other reachers and teachers through and pulled my family through. Are you kidding me? And as we all say, and I like to say, everything happens for a divine reason, not just a reason, a divine reason. A lot of reachers and teachers, and as well as my family, we come through a lot of things to teach others. Sometimes, like teachers I've met along the way, like I was mentioning here on my podcast, they thrived and made it through storms to get to a teaching space that they're in, and I'm glad they did. I'm glad I came across a lot of great reachers and teachers, even if I haven't never met them in person, because they were definitely an impact in one's life. We got to honor our teachers, because we honor our teachers, we honor ourselves. I'm talking about the real teachers now. Ones that's been getting it in, and it's brother or sister, and ain't playing no games and not taking no shit and don't give a damn about this so-called matrix, and see through the smoke screens. Real talk. And being still helps with this. Real talk. When you take time to study oneself, and read our own selves, because again, when we got everything on tap deep within, we are ready to teach. We are on fire. We're ready to be on this journey and do what that great divine has called us, so many of us, to do. Many are called, few are chosen. I know we hear that a lot, and we only know when we know. Being chosen and and all the things that we say we are, we shouldn't have to say it all the time. We should be able to show it in our lives. That's why you don't hear me say that much. We should know that we're chosen. We don't have to say it. You know what I mean? Amongst other things, that we say we are, Sigma male and all that kind of stuff. We know these things, but we live it in our lives naturally. We don't have to say we're powerful or say we're strong. I mean, we can say these things because it's good. It's empowering, but we live this, not just saying it. And, that's kind of something I had to learn. We have to live it and, via just saying it. We have to, but, like Malcolm X said, we get it in a thought and then we turn it into action. We change the way we think, we change the way we eat, and we change how we feel, how we felt about oneself, and it'll bleed on the outside, and it's wonderful. And we do it effortlessly without even trying. That's the beautiful thing about, just acting accordingly, just being natural, and just being led by that great, great divine spirit. The divine protects us on the inside. Mother Nature protects us on the outside. We have divine is the male energy. Mother Nature is the feminine energy. We separate the two. Never mix the two. And I've said this before too, but what happens when you mix things that, when you try to make things mix that aren't meant to be mixed, it brings chaos, like oil and water. And we all know oil and water could never mix. So mixing male and female, you can try, yeah, but be ready for what's to come. Because anytime you try to mix natural with artificial, it's never going to come out right. I don't give a damn what it is. How you try to make it, it's never going to happen, because that's not what the great divine intended. And if you are still and like water and you go deep, you'll know these things. Because people who are doing artificial things and all they care about is digital and they don't care nothing about natural, they're going to be in a world of hurt. They just don't know that yet. Real talk. Because again, when you want to change things and you want to be artificial and change your body and do all that, okay, are you ready for everything that comes with it? Know what I mean? And I want to use this analogy from the movie Aladdin. You guys know, people who are listening, my generals, family, brothers and sisters, salute. Remember the scene in Aladdin where I forgot what the evil guy name was in that cartoon, but the evil guy. And remember how smart Aladdin was in that movie. And he didn't care about money or none of that shit, even though he did get swayed in the movie and it did kind of take him over. But you see, he went through some shit and he learned from it and he got back to himself. And when he got back to himself, he conquered Jafar. That was his name. He conquered Jafar. When he was being artificial, he was losing. See what I'm saying? But when he found himself, that's when he conquered himself. And he conquered Jafar, which was the evil guy in the cartoon. Now remember, Jafar, he was a narcissist. All he cared about was power and making I forgot what the girl name was in the cartoon, and making her his wife and not even knowing her. And he just gonna make her his wife with his power. But the genie could not make people love. And he tried to make the genie make her fall in love with him. Of course, that didn't happen. Now remember, he wanted to have all the power, but he didn't want to put in the work to have the power. See, but Aladdin knew this because he had already went through his challenge, right? So he knew how to outmaneuver. Now remember, Jafar was very, very powerful, and he could turn into a snake and turn into this and turn into that. Was way more powerful than Aladdin. But what was the one thing Jafar was lacking? Awareness and love. That's what he was lacking. All he seen was power and superficial. He didn't give a damn what he stepped on to get it. So Aladdin seen what he didn't see. And this is what a lot of my brothers and sisters, I'm using this analogy. This is how a lot of us are real. I'm talking about who are putting in the impact and are real, not fake. This is how we outmaneuver individuals that are evil. We save our secret weapons when we least expect it. When the evil individual or entity least expect it, we don't tell them everything. So we let them screw their own selves. That's the best way to deal with a toxic individual. You don't have to do anything. Let them dig their own hole. So I'm gonna get back to this analogy. Remember, Jafar wanted to be a genie, and he was like, okay. And then he became a genie, and Aladdin, allowed him, didn't try to fight him or stop him. And remember, he became a genie. He's like, man, I got all this power. I'm the most powerful genie in the world. And remember, and that's kind of where I got that analogy. If you want to change and do things and be a narcissist and all that, that's cool. But you got to take everything that come with it. People forget that sometimes. So that's why I'm using this analogy. And remember, Aladdin held the genie lamp up. He said, you want to be a powerful genie? You got it. And everything that comes with it. See, he didn't think about that. All he thought about was the power and ruling everything. And remember, in the movie, he was like, what? And remember, he went back. He was big and powerful, but what happened? He got to live in this itty bitty living space, like they said in the movie. So, and he was a prisoner of that lamp. See, that's what happens when we try to do superficial things and try to run over somebody and try to bend things to our will in a toxic way. We can bend things to our will in a righteous way. If it's helping humanity and or culture. But when we try to force things in a toxic way, there's always going to be a bad return. Real talk. So I just want to use that movie in an analogy. And that's always been bouncing around in my spirit. I always thought about that little scene. And that's how it is. And you see this in celebs, artists. You see this, we've seen many artists and celebs who have fallen from being a narcissist, because that's crazy, And I make sure I have to check myself, make sure I don't, I ain't no narcissist. I ask myself, am I a narcissist? No, I am not, because I do have empathy and I do care, It's just I move in different ways, especially in these times, because evil entities are everywhere. Real talk. So, that's just an analogy I wanted to bring up of being appreciative of our power and what can happen when we take divine power for granted. No matter how much money we have, it'll seem like we're in an itty bitty space. It won't mean nothing if we don't have true righteous character within. If we don't mean well to the pit of that soul, we can try to act like it on the outside all we want. I said it before and I say it all the time. We got evil things harboring deep within. It will pop out sooner or later, because that great divine don't play that. Mother Nature don't play that. It wants us to be as real as we can to the pit of our soul, even through the mix of our mistakes. If we do have any little human error, that's what makes that great divine forgiving and Mother Nature forgiving, is when we have right in our heart. Because as we all know, folks, nothing or no one knows our heart more or better than that divine force and Mother Nature. So you can be evil all you want. You're just going to be running in that rat race, and you'll just end up coming right back to that great God, the real God now, not that false shit, So we might as well just do right anyway. And as I said, there's going to be battles in life, whether we are a good person or bad. So you might as well try your best to be a righteous individual. Then it won't be the impact isn't as bad when you have right intent. And that's when it comes back to still waters, run deep, and keep sharpening our senses, brothers and sisters. Mind, body, and soul. See, hear, and feel. Psyche. Study those areas. You'll flourish in life, or we will flourish in life. And and listen to family members when we can. Have a listening ear. I don't care if we have run across knowledge and learn things. There's still things we can learn, because again, if we get to a space where we think we know everything, that's when we'll things will catch us off guard. We got to kind of keep a listening ear. As I said, we got 2 ears for a reason. So just keep striving, my generals. And this has been another edition of EBX Discussion. And everyone keep having a great day. Tell yourself it's going to be a good day every day. Take that divine shield with you out into the world. Analyze things. I don't care unless it's something physical that's trying to hurt us. Don't let everything take us back. Be still. Observe individuals' behaviors, things in the world, celebs, artists, and social media. Be an observer. Be a smart, intelligent observer. But we stand with our generals out here that's reaching and teaching in the world or online or in our families. Children, brothers and sisters, younger or older. Those who are righteous, those are the ones we pay attention to, because those are the ones that will catapult us to a righteous life and keep on going, and because again, when we're breathing, we can conquer today and tomorrow, the next day. And because when we look ahead, when we think ahead, the element of surprise, the devil won't have a chance, because we already got our righteous weapons ready. You know what I'm saying? Real talk. Make that devil back up. Fuck the devil. That's how we got to speak to that negative energy. Real talk. So just remember, brothers and sisters, still waters run deep, so keep developing, those deep things, those great things that we want in life. Guess where they are? Deep within. So keep on striving and keep sharpening our 7 senses, brothers and sisters. Salute.